Good evening. Oh well, I didn't check everything in last night? Alright, well, I guess I was having a lot of computer problems. Alright, let's make sure we get it all checked in. But before we do that, let's just make sure we got it all built. And looks like Adam checked stuff in. Forest canopy, forest goals, midnight geo, goals, and lighting. Very good. Let's put up that level and make sure it works. Looks like what? Internet problems? Maybe it'll come back? Maybe. Alright. Well, whatever. I've been having problems with stuff. Internet starting to drop out, which is never fun. It looks like it's back online, at least for now. So let's play this. So supposedly these things are changed? So we can't just run into the crawl under the stump sort of things? Oh, very good. Alright, well, I will need to check in my changes then. Alright, so the next things I got rolling around here is I can work on the team indicators. I'm trying to think, what would the team indicators, what should they look like? I mean, something small, right? Like, something small, not complicated, unobtrusive. Because we don't want it to be too much. We want it to be very simple. Because if we pop this open, basically what we'd like is so if we got something like this, what do we want our team indicator to look like? I mean, I could definitely think something small and much more on the edge of the screen for each player or something like that. Maybe something even simpler. Maybe not even an arrow, but like a box. Just something like this. Kind of moves around. Because I mean, what information do we want it to show? I mean, pretty much distance and team color, something like that. But I could definitely see something where we've got like a couple, if there's 3 people down there, you'd see something kind of like this. Something real simple. Well, why don't we do that? Something that's on pretty much the very corners of the screen. Hello, Cakes. Hello. My internet's been kind of screwed up today, so we'll see if I can even hold together a stream. So the first thing I can do is the team indicators. So I think what I'm going to do is, like, this is the ball indicator. I think I'm going to make this even simpler. So if I take the ball indicator and I duplicate it, and I do BP player indicator, let's just throw this in a, just move this into the Brackensack folder. And I think this should be just a simple white square that we then tint. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So what is this spinner? This is a 512 by 512 fucking texture. Oh my god. I mean, why is it 512 by 512 if it's a single fucking color? Jesus Christ. Alright. Yeah, massive performance problems. The goddamn ball indicator spinner has more texture memory than the entirety of every Mario sprite in existence on the NES. Yeah, this... God fucking damn. Oh, this is why we can't have nice things. Yeah, and then it's a 256 by 256 black texture. Like, it's not even standardized. It's not even standardized madness. It's just fucking madness. Ball indicator arrow. Yeah, alright. Alright, well, first thing I'm gonna do is make some high resolution textures. This is a 2x2 black texture, which we will save as 2x2 black. God damn it. Really? And then we're also going to need a white texture. And this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to... Oh, man. Alright, so we have placeholders. Yeah, so we have black, which is a 2x2 black, and we already have a 2x2 white. Alright, so, like... So what the fuck? Like, why... Is this really just a white texture? Somehow I don't think it is. Somehow I think I'm being lied to. It's still a lot bigger than it probably should be. Alright, well, it looks like it is actually set up, but these tools don't actually look very promising. That's racist? What? Which part? All of it? Fucking black textures? Fucking white textures? It's all bullshit. You don't see color? That must be really difficult in your day-to-day life. How do you drive? Like, do you drive a car and you just look at the position of the light and that's what makes you stop? Alright, so let's see. This is the indicator stuff. Let's see how much I have to actually do to make this work with other indicator types. So it should be under objects. Alright, so we have the indicator. Which has a whole bunch of like update indicator ball direction. Looks like it's all called from Blueprint Land though. Like we have tick. Yeah. Update indicator ball direction. Relative rotation. Okay, so it's this get position 4. So this will be and that's on the player proxy actor. So we'll get our followed actor. So we don't need to make a Dashkin indicator class for this. Our player indicator can actually, we can just get rid of all this crap. Alright, so turn toward ball, we should do position for player. Alright. Ball shake, we don't need any of that. Begin play, get unique ID self. Alright. Let's see, followed ball needs to not be a ball. On hit effects, don't need that. Out of bound and score, don't give a damn. Dashkin indicator, we don't want a parent from that class. Our construction script has, let's just get rid of this stuff. Options, we can get rid of you. Where is this used? Screen percentage clamp. Alright, let's do 0.95. Indicator world offset, followed ball. This will be followed player. And this will be a Dashkin player proxy. Player proxy actor, yes, correct. So that'll get our local player. I'm assuming Adam went off to dinner or whatever, right? So you just have to deal with my crass self while I work on this stuff and you wait for him to come back. Yeah, so I don't know what you guys think about, but for the team indicators, I was just going to do kind of a simple dot kind of on the side where that person would be. So trying to keep it really unobtrusive and pretty small. So I'm not thinking really a scale. Well, maybe. But not very different. So like, the minimum scale would be very close to the maximum scale. So this thing would be, real simple. And as for a sprite for this, is that a white monster? Who knows? Alright, so I'll make a simple white sprite and a simple black sprite. Hello, Synachron. I'm just going to be making the player indicator stuff for this, which should be a lot simpler than like the stuff that you were working on, I think. Alright, so masked unlit sprite material. I don't think that's what we want to use. What were we using for the other one? It's translucent glowing UI sprite? Yeah, that makes sense. Let's open it up, make sure we got the right names for things. It's also comment stuff. And clean up stuff that's not actually being used. Blend darken based on the vertex color? Or whatever. So it's just glow tint? Alright. Alright, and we'll get the red color in here as well. So I'll have a neutral color as well. Let's just make that white. Yeah, I guess I should just have this material right up here to begin with. The Twitch dashboard just stopped playing my video, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, am I having the internet troubles again, which I've been having? Alright, so this is going to be a primitive component, so why don't we just do So let's make our dynamic. Oh, come on. What? It's material instance dynamic reference. What the fuck? Wow, okay, Adobe. You really needed to bust in on that. Let's make this an array. How did the computer surgery turn out? It turned out that I didn't need to do anything. It's just Windows updates being stupid as hell. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through, grab every primitive component that is on our actor, and we're going to create a material instance dynamic on it. That way we slap anything else on here, we'll follow the same rules for everything. And we'll go ahead and add the return value like so to it. So that's how we'll keep track of our material instances. Then when we're done with that, we'll just set our shader variables. Alright, so let's have a local color, so glow color. And that's not going to be an array. Yeah, that's kind of the thing is, especially when I've got like the build machine over there. Anytime you do a Windows update, you're just like, ah, Jesus Christ, like, please, please don't fuck this up, Microsoft. I'm begging you. And especially when it had that one Windows update message, like it used to say when it had a major upgrade, your files are right where you left them. You know, like don't worry, your files are fine, and you're just like, why would you be? Why would they not be fine? Is there something you're not telling me, Microsoft? It's like, no, everything's fine. Don't worry about it. The cocaine is safe. You're like, what cocaine, Microsoft? Is Rob Ford updating my machine? Because if he is, I'm kind of concerned right now. For one, he's dead. For two, yeah, he probably doesn't give a shit about my computer. Alright, so we'll set the colors, and then we want to grab our sprite material instances, and then do a for each loop, because that's what we're doing. And all of that. Let's make sure we got the right thing. It's called glow tint. Okay, so that should set all the things for this. Excellent. Can't parse default value. Why would, like, okay. Do I just need to compile you again? Yeah. Okay, so the followed player we're gonna expose on spawn. This is the player proxy to follow. Okay, the thing that we're gonna do here is we're also going to get local player proxy, and we're gonna check if the followed player is equal to that. And if true, we're just gonna kill ourselves. Alright, couple things that we're gonna need to do. If the followed player get followed actor. If the followed actor is not valid, then we're gonna set ourselves to be invisible. be false. Otherwise, we're gonna need to check if this thing is on screen, right? So. And I think this is what you were talking about, Karakan, the min distance for the screen or something with the ball scale that you were having problems with or whatever. I might mess around with that later. Well, don't you have a forum post that's talking about or something? When the ball comes on screen from off screen, that as it scales, there's some sort of thing that throws you off every time. We should probably do this indicator position 4 and set the position only if we actually care. Alright, so if this target is off screen, is false, we're going to set it to invisible. Otherwise, we will set it to visible. Maybe I should start using sequences and return nodes. Might help me out here. You see the direction, you see its speed, but you can't see the distance from the edge of the screen in the last few meters of approach. Yeah, so you know it's coming, but there's not enough of a distance. That'd be like what? There's like some sort of curve, or maybe, or I mean, it looks like it's just 5,000, and then it just clamps between certain things. So it gets the distance from the screen, divides it by 5,000, and it looks like it goes all the way to 1. And it does so linearly. So the only thing that you're thinking about is probably this minimum distance, which is 250. So I could try just lowering this minimum distance. I mean, the other thing would be to make it not linear, but exponential or something like that. So there's a little bit more, well, reverse exponential. So there's more room closer to the goal than otherwise. But it might sneak up on people. So I don't know. Alright, so this will be a float. Distance from screen. So we need our followed actor, get actor location. So we had 5,000 for the ball, so why don't we try 5,000 for this one as well? And we'll do the same clamp operation. And inside of our constructor script, we're going to snag our base scale. Which is going to be our scene, get scale, get relative scale 3D. Balls and clamps should not be used in the same sentence. Well, good thing you weren't here for last stream. There was a lot of ball talk. I was working on stuff like having multiple balls that stick to people that you can punch, and how players interact with them when hiding. Just grab the Y. I guess I should grab all three, so why don't we just grab the base scale as a vector. And that way when we do this position for player, we just multiply by a vector. So whatever it's set up in the construction script, it'll just be set up as such. Alright. Ball jousting? Yeah, ball jousting was definitely the it's basically when you have multiple balls. I've got the balls so they can collide with each other. So what you can do is, if you're running along and the balls that you have that are following you kind of zoom past an area, they will collide with any balls that they are in the way. So if somebody else has balls, these balls will like fly across the screen and smack them away from the person who currently has them following them. So you can basically run through and it'll screw up all the balls that they've got following you. They don't disconnect, but I could always have like a disconnect range or something. Alright, so that'll set the position, it'll also set the scale, it'll do all that crap. Now we actually have to make these actors, and we'll spawn them, I think, with the player controller? No, player controller doesn't exist on everything. We could do it in the player logic object. That's probably the easiest place to put it, but we keep throwing more and more crap in there. Eventually, it's already a fucking mess. If it's already a mess, why not make it worse, right? Alright, so it should just be spawn actor. How come it's not letting me call spawn actor? Conflicting nodes substituted during paste? Is this because it's a U object and it's getting all pissed off at us because of that? This is unfortunate that we can't create an actor nicely here. So where can we easily create a new actor? Because I want to do its begin play properly. I mean, we can make a player actor. I mean, we can just set the local player in the... Begin play is gonna get called. Yeah, it's kind of shitty. Was there something I wanted from Adam? I don't think so. He's probably back online now, isn't he? Yeah. I'm trying to think. Basically, I want a good actor, a good place to put this sort of stuff. It's unfortunate that the way I initially set this all up, the player logic object is a U object and not an actor. And as a result, we have massive issues with a lot of the functions we want to use inside of it. So I guess what I can do is I can just like get the level actor and then just have the level spawn it in. And just kind of do this spawn player objects sort of thing. Alright, so spawn player objects, we're going to do spawn actor from class. Let's give it the BP player indicator. Followed player is it is a player proxy actor. We'll just make a default transform and it'll move itself. Okay, so that should spawn some of these things. We don't have a ball indicator. I mean, a player indicator. Alright, so get player proxy. The followed player is none. Maybe this needs to go somewhere else.